All right, hey everybody, back with another news feed here for you, and today we're going to start this one off. 8 essentials that have skyrocketed in price for your car. This is very, very true. I laughed. Every time I looked at this, I'm like, yep, and it's that bad. Batteries. I've not had to replace a battery in a little while, but I did have to buy one for my boat, and the prices of batteries are just straight up stupid. Used to be where I can get a really nice battery for 60 bucks back when I was doing my, building all my custom bow fishing rigs, and I was running those big 27 and 30 series battery, the 27s I think is what we mainly used in them, but we were running 6 batteries and that thing. I could get by with buying them pretty cheap. Now the prices of batteries, just stupid. Tires are another one. If you haven't bought tires recently, you're in for an eye-opener. They're insane. Okay, the prices on tires are stupid right now, insane. And I don't care what excuses they give and all this kind of stuff. Says to get a better deal, he recommends looking off the beaten path. Consider purchasing high-quality used tires or opting for off-brands that meet the safety standards. Some off-brand tires can be better than even the high-brand ones, really, and it can last longer because they're usually a harder durometer, okay? They might suffer a little bit in some off-road stuff or maybe a little bit in wet pavement kind of thing, but again, keep in mind that they're going to last a lot longer usually because of the durometer in them. But a lot of great tire brands that are out there, many people don't even know about. And they're owned by bigger name companies already. So something to consider when you're out there looking. Do your research on the tires. Engine oil, that's gone. Prices are stupid too. Now I buy it on Amazon. I buy it in the 5-quart jugs because it's cheaper that way. But oil prices, especially if you walk into a store, are stupid. I've not bought brake pads in a long time, but apparently they went up as well too. Windshield wipers, I know for sure because I go through multiple sets a year of wiper blades. And if you walk into like an O'Reilly's or something like that, you are going to pay double what you will pay on Amazon. Okay, I buy Bosch Evolution wiper blades. They're the best ones. They're what I put on every vehicle I own. It's what I put on them for the last, 3 years, 4 years. They are by far the best wipers I've ever used, but they are literally half the price if you buy them on Amazon versus buying them at an auto parts store, as is often the case. Catalytic converters, never bought one, but I can't believe they're that expensive to replace if somebody steals yours. That's insane. And semiconductors, they're saying the average semiconductor for a car is 540 bucks. Getting pretty crazy. Upgraded lighting, again, some of that stuff, but it was pretty interesting little article. Thought I'd kind of highlight it for you. Moving on from there, this new Android Auto wireless adapter bypasses restrictions and unlocks YouTube. I thought that was kind of cool, but I also like the direction we're heading in, all right? So people are jumping into this word right here, and I love this. Bypasses. Bypasses are awesome. Adapters, bypasses, restrictions. That's what I want to hear. We can use this in the future. But this particular one right here lets you actually run YouTube through Android Auto and Apple CarPlay on your screen, and I'm a huge fan of that. Now, I don't watch YouTube in my car or my truck when I'm driving, but I will let YouTube. I don't use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay either. I just play it right. I go right through my phone for everything. My nav, all that. I don't use any of that in-car crap. But I will turn on a YouTube video and I will let it go through my Bluetooth and I will just listen to it. So I can listen to a podcast on YouTube or even a video and just not watch it, but I can hear it. And I like that option. So this right here, this adapter will give you that option to be able to run that through there. So even if you're on a long road trip and your wife wants to watch something on YouTube or your passenger, you can watch it through your screen with this adapter through Apple CarPlay and stuff. But the big thing that I like is that people are starting to bypass stuff. Maybe pretty soon we'll have things that will bypass the data sending things. We'll have stuff that'll bypass speed checks and stupid things that they're coming out with the beeping for the speed limit things that are coming out. Maybe pretty soon we'll have some companies starting to make us more of these adapter bypasses for restrictions. That's what I'm hoping to see more of, because like I said, these auto manufacturers and the government are getting ridiculous with this stuff, and I'd love to see some bypass adapters like my Taser Mini. My Taser Mini is one of my favorite things in my Jeep. It lets me turn off nannies that I can't stand. It lets me open options up that should have been opened anyway, and it lets me bypass safety features that they put on vehicles for people that, because again, half the world is dumb with a lot of stuff like that, don't know what they're doing, and they don't want the vehicles to get broke by people like that. Well, I know what I'm doing, so give me the option to use it. And I like bypasses. I like where they're going with this. I am very excited that people are starting to come out with some of this stuff here, and I hope it continues. I'd support them any chance I can. Next one on here, this one right here. Now, if you got a Ridgeline, okay, is it good off-road? Is it really any good? Now, it says here for the Trailsport, but let me let you in on a secret. The Trailsport is really no different than any of the other ones. Okay, there's no lift. There's no, all it is tires, and I think it's tires and a skid plate, and maybe a little bit of cutout in the valance, but it's nothing else. Okay, so whatever Honda Ridgeline you have, Cars.com did a pretty good test on it as far as the off-road capability of it. So let's take a look at what they said. I'm never going to off-road a Ridgeline, but I always thought they were pretty good. Let's see what they have to say here. So they say, the Trailsport's there. It's not any different, okay? In addition to what's changed, also notable, what has in the Trailsport isn't lifted versus a regular Ridgeline, which leaves the Trailsport ground clearance at 7.6 inches, approach angle at 20.4, and a breakover at 19.6. About same thing as all the rest of the Ridgeline lineup. So any Ridgeline is as good as a Trailsport. That's what they're telling you. Okay, we know the powertrain. We're not going to get into all this. You know all the stuff about that. But what is important is the transfer case and how it works. Okay. Next in line, getting torque to the ground from the transfer case and differentials. The transfer case isn't a traditional transfer case. Honda calls it a torque transfer unit. This is a clutch-based system, and it sends power to the rear differential when needed. There's a lot of vehicles that work this way, okay? So don't think that just because they said it's not a traditional transfer case, that it's not good. Many little off-road vehicles do this, okay? When not needed, it disengages, increasing efficiency. The front differential is just a standard open diff. However, the rear transfer case and rear differential are more unique. These components, along with some electronics, are what make up the variable torque management system. Moving to the rear end is where most of the magic happens. There's no traditional differential here. Power is sent to the rear axle via separate and individually controlled clutch packs. The system has the ability to send 100% of the torque at the rear to either rear wheel. Now keep in mind, only 50% of engine torque goes to the rear because 50% is in the front. But of that 50%, 100% of it can be put wherever they want it. Okay, it's beautiful. Essentially, the system can work as a fully locked rear differential, or better yet, send less power to the wheel without traction and more power to the wheel with traction. Part of the system is controlled via Honda's intelligent traction management system. This provides 4 drive modes, each with unique programming: normal, snow, mud, and sand. Beautiful thing. So how does it do? They say here for high speed, for the high speed section, the suspension is pushed to its limits, then backed off to a level that is safe for the vehicle to be tested. For on-road vehicles, the goal is 20 miles per hour. Slower than that requires more caution. Faster requires means higher confidence. With the help of the independent front-rear suspension, Ridgeline was one of the smoothest mid-sized trucks tested over small bumps. Okay, that's very good. However, wheel travel is limiting the suspension, quickly bottoms out and tops out over medium to larger bumps. Of course, it doesn't have the travel. It's to be expected. Okay, it's not a machine designed to handle huge, huge holes. But I love the fact that they said it's one of the smoothest mid-sized trucks over small bumps. The people that are taking this thing off-road are going to be on smaller bumps. They know what their limitations are. And they said here that the Trailsport couldn't keep up the 20-mile-an-hour goal over the larger bumps without risk of damage, netting an average of 18 miles per hour range. That's fine. Again, it's not a body-on-frame truck with tremendous amounts of articulation. It doesn't have it. What this translates to, a vehicle is comfortable over well-maintained dirt and gravel roads. The rack and pinion steering is direct and precise, which makes it stay on course easy. Without a solid axle, the Ridgeline doesn't shuffle around as much as other mid-sized trucks do on washboard. And when the road gets rough, the Ridgeline will need to slow down a little bit to prevent damage from it being so low to the ground and not a lot of travel. Makes perfect sense. We'll take that all day long. This one here, articulation test, we know it doesn't have any. It's a unibody design without a lot of suspension travel. So you know you're going to get wheel lift whenever you're doing off-camber stuff or things like that. But that's okay, because you got the power and the transfer, the torque vectoring transfer, to pull you through the obstacle. It's just going to slide right over, lift the wheel, and go over. That's how a lot of little SUVs work too. No big deal there whatsoever. And it says it also you can use your drive modes without being in a precarious position. Other vehicles haven't demonstrated a clear difference between drive modes. Not so with the Ridgeline. Okay, Ridgeline, you can notice it. Okay, they also talk about the steep hill climb on here. And they're going to say most modern all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive systems incorporate anti-lock brake systems as traction aids to simulate limited slipper lockers. This system is nice because the hardware is already in place with the dual clutch system you have there. You don't have to touch any buttons or mess with nothing. It's already on. However, it requires a lot of torque because the vehicle is not only has to produce enough torque to climb the hill, it also needs enough torque to overcome the braking force, which is part of the torque vectoring system with the wheels without traction. So it's got to fight some, and remember that it does not have a 4-low transfer case in there. So on a steep climb, it's going to require quite a bit out of the truck, but it will do it, it says. Ridgeline uses a brake-limited slip system for the front. However, the rear is different because of the dual clutch. And without wasting torque overcoming brakes, without this and a decent with this and a decently low gear from its 9-speed auto, the Ridgeline was able to easily summit the steep hill on an easy line without hassle. However, there was some challenges on the hard line. Lacking a low-range transfer case, the Ridgeline required a lot of throttle to get moving up the hill. This caused the clutch plates to heat up in both the power transfer unit and in the rear diff near the top of the climb. The Ridgeline gave a warning that it is overheating and needed to cool down. Interestingly enough, it did not disable, did not go into limp mode or anything like that. And it did not put the truck in two-wheel drive. It just told you it needs to cool down. So they were able to easily pull over safely, give it a few minutes, and then they were able to get right back on it and drive. So that was it right there. It says, I opted to wait. Only took a couple of minutes. System cooled down, and the climb was finished without issue. So very, very capable. It's got a little bit of underbody protection on here. Not a ton, but it's pretty good. Robust oil pan skid plate there too, which is nice. And they say overall, how did it do? Having a Trailsport, well, they're actually going to say it. Having a Trailsport moniker hasn't improved the outright rough terrain capability of the Ridgeline. All Ridgelines are basically the same. Nevertheless, extra underbody protection added confidence. All-season tires can improve traction and durability over many terrains compared to the rest of the midsize truck. Ridgeline is at rock bottom of the pack for off-road prowess. Of course it is. Look at it. However, it offers smooth ride, more spacious cabin, excellent storage spaces for things, and possibly most advanced all-wheel drive system in its class. This translates into a vehicle that's great for all weather conditions on pavement and can easily manage well-maintained dirt and gravel roads. This combination makes it a great choice as a soft roader. Okay, they say it's similar to a Subaru Outback, RAV4, Volkswagen Atlas. This truck is very, very good and perfect for what people that buy it will use it for. You can take it camping, you can take it hiking, you can take it skiing, you can take it on some nice trails to go wildlife watching, bird watching, exploring, adventuring. It is a perfect little urban do everything truck, and they show it right here too. So off-road does a fantastic job. Just know what it is and what it isn't. Okay, but I do wish this Trailsport model, I wish the Trailsport model got an inch bigger tire, and I wish it got an inch or two of lift on it too as well to increase that stuff, because the all-wheel drive system in this thing is pretty phenomenal. With another inch or two of lift and an inch or two of tire size, this thing would have some serious potential and do a fantastic job. Hopefully they do that next time around, but even now, like I said, very good little soft roader is a good term for it, but don't think for any second that this thing has to stay on the pavement. It can go and explore and do life very well out there. So, all right, let me know your opinions on this stuff. Thanks for watching.